Hey guys, this is Judith, and today I'm making it was supposed to be veal marsala, but I had some difficulty tracking down veal that was affordable, so I ended up using chicken. Anyway, so for my ingredients today, I have chicken. I'm using chicken instead of veal, which the recipe says that you can use chicken for a different alternative. You're supposed to pound it, put it in a plastic bags and pound it. I already did that. That's the first instruction, so it's still in the plastic bag. And this is about 3.5 cups of baby bello mushrooms. I have 4 teaspoons of cooking oil. I use peanut oil. I found that it's easier to work with for the heat. I have 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Okay, so this is the part where I kind of have something, not against this recipe, but I have reservations. The recipe calls for 3/4 cup of dry marsala. I don't know if they meant 3/4 tablespoon or 3/4 cup. I looked at another recipe online that called for 1/2 cup. So I'm using, this is a little above a 1/2 cup. This is the whole jar. Like I bought a whole jar from Whole Foods and it's done. Okay. This is about 1/2 cup of green pepper sliced. This is about 1 tablespoon of fresh snipped sage. I have 1 tablespoon of water. I have 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, and I have another quarter teaspoon of salt. So the first thing on the recipe asks for you to put the chicken, cut the veal or chicken into 4 sizes, put it in a plastic wrap and pound it so that way you kind of thin it out. I already did that, so we can skip step 1. And number 2 is that in a 12-inch skillet, cook the mushrooms in 2 teaspoons of hot oil for 4 to 5 minutes. We're really hungry, so instead of using a 12-inch skillet, I think I'm probably using like an 18-inch skillet, so that way I can cook all the chicken at the same time, because it asks you to cook them one at a time. So I'm just putting 2, and the skillet is already heated, so 2 teaspoons of oil. And I'm gonna put my mushrooms in there. I just let this cook down for about 5 minutes, and then I'll take it out. Okay, alright guys, so I'm just going to let this cook, and then I will see you guys when the mushrooms are done. Okay, so thanks, while the mushrooms are cooking, they're almost done. I'm just gonna continue with the recipe. It says sprinkle the meat, and this is the meat, by the way, on the on a chopping block. Sprinkle the meat with 1/4 teaspoon of salt and the pepper. So I'm gonna sprinkle the meat with the salt and the pepper, and then I'm going to just like rub it in so that way it's covered all around the meat. I'm supposed to cook the chicken in the same skillet in the rest of the oil for about 2 to 4 minutes until it's tender, or it's no longer pink. So put this in the plate right now. My mushrooms are looking like they're done. Just gonna rinse off my hands, and then pull out my mushrooms first. These are nice and ready to be pulled out. Mushrooms look pretty good, by the way. I tasted them, and they didn't, even though they don't have any seasoning in them, they tasted actually pretty good. So anyway, so I'm gonna put the 2 teaspoons of oil in the skillet, and I have a little, the second spoon wasn't full, so I'm gonna, okay. So I'm gonna just swirl this around, and then put my chicken in there to cook for about let's see, get this heated up for about 4 to 5 minutes. I'm basically supposed to cook it until it's no longer pink on the inside, which is the reason, I guess, why they wanted the meat to be tenderized. It's heated. I'm really hoping I can fit all 4 pieces of chicken in at the same time, because it's asking that I do it 2 at a time. But I'm just going to try, because we are pretty hungry. There we go. Everything fits. For time like this, you need to invest in a giant. For times when you're extremely hungry, you need to invest in a giant skillet. So basically, I'm gonna let this cook, and I'm gonna turn it over once, so that way, as soon as the other side is completely white, I guess. Alright, I'll see you guys when the chicken is done, and then we'll just complete the rest of the recipe. Okay guys, so my chicken looks like it's cooked right now. I'm just gonna pull it out, put it in a different plate. I let it cook a little more than I should have, but that's just because my chicken pieces were thicker, even though I pounded it, so, I don't know. That's why I let it cook thick. I didn't want to have to eat raw chicken. Alright. So next thing, it says add the marsala to the drippings in the skillet. As you see, I have no drippings in my skillet, so I'm just going to have to add a little water. Hopefully that makes the drippings. So I'm put like water in my skillet and then add the marsala. That's what I'm making, fake drippings. I'm going to bring this to a boiling. Well, there's not enough water in it, so I'll add water until there's enough water. I still don't understand how I'm supposed to use all this marsala for this little piece of chicken. Like, I don't understand why I'm using, the recipe calls for 3/4 cup. And see, I need a heck of a lot more water than I'm putting in it, so. So this is final enough water. And this is not even everything. Like, this is, the recipe calls for 3/4 cup. This is just a little above 1/2 cup. So supposed to bring this to a boiling. This makes absolutely no sense. No sense at all. Ah! Oh wow. Oh, if you guys haven't noticed, I already have a bad feeling about this one. And the only thing that I can say that doesn't matter is that the cookbook, maybe this probably meant 3/4 teaspoon, and they just flat out said 3/4 cup. Okay, this doesn't look right. I've added so much water. There's no way I could have had that much amount of drippings. And I really want to enjoy this chicken, so I'm just going to freestyle. I'm going to take out as much marsala as I think, and take out this whole glob of marsala, because this is just BS. And so this one looks a little doable. I'd really like to know what this was really supposed to be. So if you work for Better Homes and Gardens, or you know whoever works there and wrote this book, tell me this is just a piece. I mean, this is just a perfectly good $5 marsala just gone to waste. Okay, I add a little more water in that one and continue with the rest of this recipe while this cooks. I'm just gonna boil it down a little bit. Yeah, so sorry guys, this is looking like a disaster, but don't lose hope yet. So it says, okay, so scrape it and then return the mushrooms to the skillet, add the green onions and sage, In the small bowl, stir together the cold water and the cornstarch and the salt and add the skillet. Anyway, so I'm just gonna take this too, because these are the next two things, and along with the mushrooms that are going into the skillet. I'm gonna mix the cornstarch with the water in this little thing right here. Stir this together. So basically these three things will go into the skillet. And the salt. Okay. As you can see, the Marsala is boiling, of which I even think this is way too much Marsala. Like, I think it was really meant to be 2 tablespoons. I'm sorry, 3/4 teaspoon. Anyway, the mushrooms are back in. And oh. Okay guys, so this is what it is, right? The Marsala is way too much. I can't imagine myself eating this. So far as the actual amount of Marsala in it. So I'm just going to just freestyle this recipe. I try to bring it together as much as I can, and I'll see you guys at the end. But yeah, this is officially a disaster. Thanks guys, and I'll tell you what I did. Most likely I'm just going to sieve all the Marsala out, add a little more water to thin it out, and then continue. Alright, thanks. Okay guys, you guys knew this was absolutely a disaster, and this just ruined my dinner, but I kind of just thinned out, I kind of sieved the Marsala through, put it through a sieve and tried to thin it out as much as I could. And I put the mushrooms back in the pan and just finished the recipe. I still suspect that it's gonna be too much for the recipe, but okay. This would have been a really nice recipe if not for the enormous omission in my case, or in my opinion, an error from the cookbook. But it actually doesn't taste bad. The Marsala is a little overwhelming, but it's actually pretty nice. I like it. If I could do it again, I would make this recipe again another time with the correct amount and see how it works out. Alright, thanks you guys. Bye.